Goldfish, turtle, gerbil, dog, cat, or elephant, whatever the creature, this program helps a child to understand that every animal he keeps depends on him for its life.
The following is from NIT, National Instructional Television. Ripples.
What do you do if you run the zoo and your elephant gets sick? What will you feed the tiger in your zoo to keep him alive? If he lived in the jungle, he'd kill a deer for his dinner. Your hippo comes from Africa, where a deep river flows through his backyard. Will you have a river for him at the zoo? The white tiger had a baby in the zoo. She didn't have enough milk to feed her baby so that he could grow strong. Whose job is it to feed the new tiger cub if his mother can't take care of him? The minute that an animal is captured by man, he can no longer take care of himself as he would in the wild place he comes from. Suddenly, the job of taking care of him belongs to the people who take him away from his natural home and keep him at the zoo. What does a hippopotamus need to feel comfortable? That's a question you need to answer if you run the zoo. Does a hippopotamus climb trees? Do you need to give him a place where he can climb like the monkeys? Does a hippopotamus need to dig a hole in the hard brown earth where he can live underground like the prairie dogs? Does a hippopotamus fly? Does he need a high, roomy place like the birds need to make him comfortable? If these hippos were living in the wilds, they'd choose a place near the river where they could oozle in the warm, muddy water for hours and hours. You can't give them a warm river in your zoo, but you can give them a swimming pool that you keep comfortable by filling it with warm water. Can you think of other animals that will need to have a watery place to live at the zoo? If you're a zookeeper, one of your hardest problems is knowing what to feed the animals to keep them strong and healthy. In the forest, this elephant would munch on grass and twigs. He'd even knock down trees and chew on the branches. What can you feed him at the zoo? Well, you give him hay that's like the forest grass, hard pellets that are rough like the twigs, and then a few things that he just thinks are delicious. Feeding tigers is harder. The elephants are vegetable eaters, but the large cats eat meat. In fact, when a tiger kills a live animal, he eats the meat, the bones, and even the soft insides to get the food he needs. In the zoo, you can feed raw meat to the cats, but you must add extra vitamins to make up for the bones and insides he isn't getting. Who gets the food ready for the animals at the zoo? Who remembers to rub the vitamin powder into the tiger's dinner? Many people work in the zoo kitchen, preparing meat, fish, vegetables, and even grow the tender green grass the elephants love to munch. Who gets these squirmers? Birds at the zoo eat thousands of live mealworms every day. The worms can be raised right here in the zoo kitchen. Living in the wilds, mother and father animals can find each other, mate, and produce baby animals of their own kind. What happens at the zoo where the animals are not free to choose their own mates? People who run the zoo work hard to find pairs of male and female animals to start zoo families. A lot of babies are born at the zoo and are well cared for by their mothers. Sometimes the whole family cares for the baby. Now and then, a zoo mother has a baby that she cannot seem to care for. The zookeepers often don't know what the trouble is, but they know that the baby will not grow strong if they leave it with its mother. What should they do to save the baby? They must find a substitute mother for the baby who can feed him and give him the warmth and cuddling that babies need. Because this tiger baby is a wild animal, people can expect to play with him safely only while he's a baby. He'll never be a safe pet when he's bigger. He'll have to go back to the zoo where trained people will care for him. Can any of the wild animals at the zoo be tamed? A few zoo animals can be tamed, even to work for people, like camels and llamas. But most wild animals can't be tamed, and many of them are dangerous to men. Nobody should ever think that these wild animals can be pets, no matter how peaceful they might look. The elephant is a wild animal who can be very dangerous to men. He's also an animal that can be trained to obey a particular person who teaches him for hours every day. Why bother to train an elephant? By training Nancy the elephant, she'll be less dangerous to people during her life at the zoo. She can be handled by her keeper, Mr. Perry, and if her keeper is with her, she can even be handled by other people. Dr. Gray, who cares for all of the animals at the zoo when they get sick, had to give Nancy medicine to make her sleep the first time he came to treat her infected tusk. Nancy would not let him touch her while she was awake. Now, since Mr. Perry has trained her, and because Nancy has gotten to know Dr. Gray and to trust him, it's a lot easier for everybody. Some of Nancy's training is for more than safe handling. It's for elephant fun. When people capture animals and keep them, they must care for them too. Give them comfortable homes, good food, medicine when they need it, and interesting things to do.
Let's have a duet. Nancy, we're waiting for you.
Produced by the Northern Virginia Educational Television Association. Ripples was created by a consortium of 12 educational agencies in association with NIT, National Instructional Television.